Spiritualism is a practice in our world. Several entertainment media portray it as either a bad or a good practice, but it rather depends on our perspective. In anime, God doesn't always appear as a bearded figure in the clouds. Sometimes God isn't mentioned at all, but the presence, the questions, the unease remain. These stories aren't sermons, they're riddles. They ask, what happens when the universe speaks but we can't understand it? When higher forces intervene without revealing their names? When faith, doubt, creation, and destruction bleed together? Today, we explore 5 anime that talk about God, without ever saying God. They create spiritual unease, they whisper at the edges of meaning, and they leave us questioning everything. Angel's Egg is less a film and more a dream or maybe a prayer left unanswered. Directed by Mamoru Oshii, this haunting, nearly wordless story follows a nameless girl wandering a decaying world, clutching a mysterious egg. She believes something divine waits inside, but belief in this universe feels fragile, slippery. The landscapes are abandoned. Statues of angels loom like fossils of forgotten faith. A boy appears, skeptical, carrying a cross-shaped weapon. He questions the girl's faith in the egg, questions the very nature of belief itself. Yet no clear answers arrive. Oshii wrote Angel's Egg in the aftermath of personal religious doubt. The film reflects that crisis. God isn't depicted, but his absence is everywhere. The vast, empty city feels post-apocalyptic, not in the physical sense, but spiritually barren. Faith remains, clinging to rituals, the egg, the waiting, but certainty is gone. As the story unfolds, the egg's fate shatters any illusions of divine protection. The boy's actions, the ambiguous ending, all leave viewers in existential freefall. The film doesn't confirm or deny God's existence. It simply bathes us in silence, loss, and longing, the space where divinity once lived. In doing so, Angel's Egg becomes sacred in its refusal to comfort, forcing us to sit with spiritual unease. Noine, To Your Other Self feels like a sci-fi thriller, a tale of parallel universes, quantum physics, and teenage friendship. But beneath the science lies something older, a meditation on fate, creation, and the divine forces that govern reality, without ever naming them as God. In Noine, the fabric of existence fractures. Multiple timelines bleed into one another. Characters confront alternate versions of themselves, worlds where choices played out differently. And lurking behind the chaos is Noine, a near-omnipotent entity with godlike knowledge, attempting to collapse the multiverse into a singularity. Noine doesn't claim to be God, but the implications are there. Control over life, death, and the destiny of countless realities. That's creation power in disguise. The show layers scientific language over spiritual dread. Concepts like the dragon torque and quantum observers echo ancient questions. Who shapes existence? Is fate fixed or fluid? For the young protagonists, these questions aren't academic. They're personal. They face loss, fear, and the paralyzing weight of destiny. And through it all, divinity remains implied, hidden behind quantum theories and philosophical whispers. Noine avoids easy answers. It never confirms what higher power, if any, governs the multiverse. Instead, it threads divinity through uncertainty, forcing viewers to wrestle with the idea that the universe is vast, unknowable, and perhaps orchestrated by forces beyond comprehension. Whether those forces are God, fate, or chaos is left to interpretation. But the spiritual unease? That lingers. However, the next anime has the same effect as Noine, but it triples the uneasiness and spiritual condemnation. Few anime depict despair as brutally as Textualize. Set in the crumbling underground city of Lux, the series follows a cast of broken people navigating gang wars, prosthetic enhancements, and existential ruin. At first, it seems like gritty cyberpunk, but beneath the grime lies a chilling question. What if God abandoned this world, or worse, never existed? Lux feels post-divine. Its citizens barter limbs for survival. Violence replaces meaning. Faith in institutions, in futures, in morality has withered. Yet fragments of religious imagery persist. Statues, Cult-like factions and whispered prophecies hint at lost spirituality buried beneath concrete and apathy. 9. Its citizens barter limbs for survival. Violence replaces meaning. Faith in institutions, in futures, in morality has withered. Yet fragments of religious imagery persist. Statues, cult-like concrete and apathy. 9. Its citizens barter limbs for survival. Violence replaces meaning. Faith in institutions, in futures, in morality. Statues, cult-like concrete and apathy. 9. Its citizens barter limbs for survival. Violence replaces meaning. Faith in institutions, in futures, in morality. Concrete and apathy. 9. Its citizens barter limbs for survival. Violence replaces concrete and apathy.